welcome everyone to another edition of Down and Dirty with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Tonight, we have Greg Elsing, Jack Spotz, our guests, Ryan Zolik here with us tonight. We'd like to thank our great sponsors, the Slama Enterprises, Casper Egg, Trip Downing, Front Street Toys, and Wetton Camp Transport. So, how's everybody doing? How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing wonderful tonight, John. Thanks.
It's good to see you. Good to hear your voice.
Perfect, Jack. How's the recruiting going for tickets coming in? I was going to show you. I was just going to jump up and grab mine. I have them all in the envelope. I'm ready to send them back to you.
Okay. Well, it's going actually pretty well. We have $65,000 already turned in, and I got it sent up to Amy, which is good for this time of year. Brenda texted everybody who's remaining, and we got a lot of responses that they'll be putting them in the mail this week. So I think we'll be in pretty good shape by the end of this week, beginning of next week, and then we'll just have a few to catch up on, and we'll be done.
Perfect. That's the best I've ever heard at this time of the year, that much in, right?
That is correct. Yeah. And I'm really happy. With the change of address, it's been a little more challenging. So, trying to get that out there. I've only had one person send it to the wrong address, but the people who live there are aware of the situation, and they called me right away, and I went and picked it up. So that was very nice of them too.
Perfect.
Wow.
Perfect. Nice. Yep. So I should have tried to get Lori on tonight, but she was busy, but to help talk about it. But, Jack, you've talked to Lori, and so you, John, you were down at the telethon thing last summer, and what they've got going on is bigger and better every year, right? Yeah.
The telethon thing went really well. That was a lot of fun, and she asked me to see if I could clear my schedule for the whole day next year to get on board with the afternoon personalities throughout all those radio stations too, as they do like a 2-3 day radiothon. So I told her I would. So it was a lot of fun. We went through, and we were on Magic 98, 94.1, Q106, the Zone. I'm missing one. We had Magic 98. Did I say that? So we're on 5 radio stations in Madison that reach out a long ways, and it was great advertisement for the American Family Children's Hospital. It was also great to help us campaign too for our event, and hopefully we got a lot of people to come watch out of that. Good exposure.
Right.
Very good exposure.
And I know a lot of the pullers paid attention. They got a lot of phone calls and a lot of messages from people that said, "I seen John on there. It was great to hear the Badger State version of what's going on down there." It's always good. It always helps sponsorship, recruitment of pullers and stuff like this, right?
Yep. Yeah. Going for the kids and getting some new fans in the stands, that just keeps the momentum ball rolling, keeps the whole works rolling. And that's what we want, and it's for a great cause. I mean, how much better can it be to do a fundraiser for, Children's Hospital? So it's great all the way around.
There's a lot of clubs and organizations that do this in other states. Other state organizations do that for their hometown polls. We've had the challenge thing with Missouri, a couple times, and that was great. And other state organizations do. There's a lot of events that have popped up. We're probably one of the first ones to do this. I believe it's got to be like 25 or 26 years for us. Mason was a baby when Danny Fry and I were both sitting somewhere and listening to the telethon for, at that time, was St. Jude. He said, well, let's do something for it. And then we did. And Mason, I just remember Mason being in diapers. So now he's a kind of a big kid. I don't know if he's in diapers anymore, but.
If you can slide one on him, I want to watch.
Yeah, not going to happen, I don't think, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever tried baptizing a cat? I think it'd be very similar.
Yep.
But
that's how I judge it, because he's 25 now, going to be 26 shortly, and so I think this is going to be our 25th year, to my best recollection of it. So maybe we should do something special for 25 years. I don't know.
Good.
You know, so
It's, you know, we went well over the $1 million mark, I'm sure, this year. So
Yeah.
yep.
That's just incredible. So
That
it's
is.
cool. It's fun. And I think, you know, Lori, she gets a kick out of Badger State. She has so much fun. And Jack sat at our table before there too. And we've sat there. It's just it's a great time, you know,
It's a
sitting
lot of fun.
chatting.
Right.
It's just awesome. So, yeah.
Right. One of our big sponsors one time came up to me and said, "Hey, I love all this stuff for the Children's Hospital. Can't they tell a story when it went good once? You know, and because they have a lot of stories where it goes good too.
Yeah.
They do. You know, and he had tears in his eyes. You know, he said, "I can't watch this anymore."
Yeah.
You know, so
It is hard. I mean, you got, you know, 450 to 500 people at the banquet, and you find somebody that's got a dry eye there, and I'll give you a crisp $100 bill. You know,
Yep.
I don't know who the toughest one would be, but it's hard. And you know, the stories too that the people come and talk about, you know, are a good story. You know, they did help their family out, and the ending isn't always the best. It's like a movie. You watch an awesome movie and it doesn't have the best ending, but you know, it's the whole story, and you get the story out, and what, you know, the Children's Hospital did for them is just like a good movie too, of, you know, how it's all put together. And but you know, everything that happens there and goes on, you know, these families don't forget, and they want to share that, and share that, you know, the proceeds that Badger State and other, you know, organizations donate don't go unnoticed, you know, and it makes, you know, the hardest times for them in their lives a little bit easier. And it doesn't take it all away, but it does help.
Yep. For sure. When you talk about all not a dry eye in the place, but I'm going to tell you, when I turn around, Jack, you're up there with me too. When we do this, and you turn around and you see all the guys, there's more guys with tears in their eyes than girls. I don't know why, but I look at everybody when I'm up there.
All them rough and tough guys
take it harder than the girls or not.
Oh, they
right?
Just,
yeah,
you know,
you got this going on. Yeah,
yeah, you got this going on. And, you know, they got a big heart, them old burly, you know. But
for sure,
you know, it strikes home. It does. Boom, it's home. And for those that, you know, and Jack knows this, for things that happen in life, and you know, you hear a story about somebody or something, and man, that's terrible. You know, heart goes out to them. But when something like that comes to your doorstep and it's in your house, that's a totally different story. You know, you live it, and you've lived it, and it's a harder one to swallow, and you can't explain it. You just I can't. You know,
you know, one of the toughest ones for me was on the track in Baraboo when Travis and Tierney, you know, lost a child, and you know, you've got Craig and Kurt and all us guys standing, you two, John, standing there, and Tierney is going on with this story, and I'm looking around and I can't watch people, but I'm watching the guys right next to me, and everybody's got tears in their eyes. But Tierney was strong enough to keep going on and tell the story. It did a great job.
Yeah,
it made it through, and standing right there, you know, she was shaking as she was doing that, and you know, it's just just heart out and plunk it on the track at that point in time.
Yep, and that's stronger than I could ever be myself. I'm telling you that right now. I cannot do that. I could not do that.
Yeah, and they've been on the radiothon too, and a few times and helped out and told their story, and I think it sheds light on, you know, same thing that we're talking about, you know, but how much American Family Children's Hospital is done. And you know, I'm going to go a step further with that too. Is a coworker of mine, their son was a victim of the ALCS shooting, and I don't know if you guys seen it on the news or not, but he's better. He's in a facility down by Chicago now. He's been released from UW. He's been down there for a few weeks for rehabilitation and stuff. One of the best places, I guess, to go to that they shipped him off to. And right after that happened, I called Lori and said, hey, there's a friend of mine that's in need there, and this is his name, and this is where he's at. Go get him. And she says, I'm on it. I will be there right away tomorrow morning. And she was. And he called me and said, man, you know, he was, you know, so emotional, and he couldn't hardly say thank you. And I said, oh, you don't need to thank me. And I said, that's her, you know, that's all her, but that's what they're there for. And that's what we're here to do, you know, every year for our, you know, fundraiser. That's what it's all about. It just come full circle to someone I know, you know, that, you know, I was there with Ross for a little thing and a few other Badger State families for little things, but this is life or limb. And for her to go there, you know, and have that connection and do that and then check up on them, well, it was worth it all. You know, it was worth it all to take the time to go to the radio station that Friday and spend the morning there. You know, if that takes someone to donate their time like me to bring more people on to do that, then amen, sign me up.
Yep. It's not that hard to do. And that's the reason we have you on here, Jack, because I want everybody in Badger State and the country to know you're the reason the raffle goes so well and a big part of what we do for the Children's Hospital. And I want to thank you here, Jack, you know, personally, and as, you know, president of the club. I know everybody you know, but I really want you to know how much I appreciate this, and I know how much everybody else appreciates it too.
Well, thank you. And you know, I think I've been doing it 20 years now. I think doing this raffle, and I got to admit, you know, Brenda helps me a lot. I have a granddaughter that comes to the pull. My daughter comes to pull at the family children's hospital pull. You know, the whole family understands what we're trying to do. And I'm very proud of that, because it's the same way with the whole Badger State tractor pulling family. And we talk about this about every Monday night, but there is truly a great culture and a great family. I literally don't get anyone to complain to me. I try to be as nice and kind as I can. I always write thank you when I email or text anybody. I don't force anybody to take a ticket. They don't have to if they don't want to, but they always ask. I always have people come up and say, hey, do you have any more tickets? I'll take them. You know, if you have any leftovers, I'll take them. You know, I have more people beg for them than anything else. I even have a truck driver that I meet at the truck stop here in Rockford, and he always buys $1,000 worth of tickets.
Really?
And he calls me. He got my name on the show. He calls me, and he buys every year. I meet him at the truck stop, and he buys tickets. You know, we have reached out farther than I think anybody ever thought. But he always says, "You mark me down for 2 books next year. I'll make sure I'll stop by and I'll pick them up." But you know, out of the blue, I think that's awesome to have people like that. They really understand what we're doing and the good cause that we do for. And our family culture, I can't say enough. I am so proud to be a member of this organization. I'm very proud to do what I do, and I'm glad I could help do it. I just can't thank everybody enough for what they do.
Yep. And I'm so thankful that you do it, Jack, and it's run so smooth, you know, because, you know, other clubs ask me, how do you guys do it? You know, how do you do it? How do you do this? How do you get people to sell tickets? How do you do it? And I said, number one, we've got a guy that organizes it now, and it's laid right out. You can't make it any easier. You grab your tickets you need to sell. As people got to watch, anybody watching, every vehicle sells at least 1 book of tickets, right? 5 tickets.
That is correct.
Yep. And everybody else, you know, a lot of them take extra ones all the time. You've got a lot of participation guys taking extra ones, you know, guys that you would never think would do it, but they do it. And I'm so thankful that they do, you know.
And John's one of them. John and JJ had a big contest, so I'm kind of curious how this is going to end up. I do have all JJ tickets in, so I know how many he sold. I'm curious how many John's going to sell here. And at the banquet, we're going to announce who won that contest between these two.
Good
well,
deal.
I had to help JJ out, John. I ran out of tickets, so I bought some from JJ. I got all mine sold, and I didn't put my name on any.
Well,
I
that's all
bought
right.
some from JJ.
Yeah. I noticed that, Greg, your name was on a few tickets.
it'll be Greg and JJ against Jack and John. That'll be the deal. That's the deal.
No, it's really good, you guys. I have no difficulty doing this. It used to be, and I'll be truthful. Only month I take off is December. Time I ordered the ticket. Well, Kelly's nice and gets me the raffle ticket information from the state. We get that number, and then I get them printed, and then all boxed up and ready to hand out at the spring meeting. And then next thing you know, it's at the polls, and I go to the polls and we hand them out, we sell them, and then we turn the cycle around. We're collecting and getting all the money back in. So really the month of December is the only month I really don't work on the raffle, but it is work, but it's so enjoyable, especially when your family pitches in and helps you also.
Yeah.
Right. So and we've, before COVID, we've had meetings at the Children's Hospital. The board of directors got to go there and see all this, years ago, like in 2017 or 18 is probably the last time we did it. It's probably not something you really need to do every year, but when you go through that hospital and see what's going on, you're all in.
Yep.
The board of directors they seen it. The whole club was all in then. They were. You were. I don't know if you got to go on it, John. I don't remember, but back in the days, we'd go through there and you'd see the little kids and the smiles on their faces and how happy they were, and you're thinking, man, you have cancer, your hair's all gone, and you're just, but they were so energetic and so happy.
Yes.
I don't know how to say it. You felt so bad, but you do what you can do, right? That's all you can do. Yeah.
That's all you can do. Yeah.
It's not about us. It's about helping other people. I think that's the key. I think that's what makes the culture of Badger State so strong, because we're all that way. There's hardly any individuals. They're all want to be a part of this and help. And that's why I think we're very successful at it, and maybe why other people struggle at it. But I honestly could say I don't struggle at this at all. I don't lay at night worrying about it, because I know I'll get all the money in and I'll get it into Amy on time and everything will be fine. Like I said, Brenda texts everybody and we got response, and everybody says thank you. Everybody tells me thank you for doing it. I don't get anything but thank you. So I appreciate that.
Well, Jack, a lot of guys are, I'm kind of that way too. I throw them on the dash of the truck, I pick them up for you, and then all of a sudden a month or two later, I'm like, oh man, I got to get selling these tickets. But people ask me for them too.
Yeah,
they do. My regular guys ask me for them every year. Hey, I want a ticket, or I want 5 tickets. I had a guy every year, he's bought more tickets. He bought a book from me this year, and and it was great. And he comes to all the tractor pulls, and he wants to help on the track and do the stuff. I'm not going to say a name, but he's the guy that had the barrel of beer on top of his skid steer at the benefit pull. So good friend of mine. Yep.
Time out, pump it up, runs hose in again.
Yeah, we did. We had and I'm not kidding. He'd probably drink that barrel of beer if he could.
Probably, yeah. Jack gave me a bank bag this year. And I noticed a lot of times last year, if I'd announced it, people come up, I wouldn't have tickets, or someone would give me tickets. So Jack and I talked last winter there at the banquet, and he gave me a bank bag and gave me all my tickets I needed, pens in there and everything. And I run out of tickets this year. In fact, I started helping. Doug Burkholz brought tickets up to Mazomanie to sell, because that was out of tickets. So we were selling Doug's tickets in Mazo, and I sold a lot of tickets out of that bank bag while I was at the polls. I mean, some of the polls, I was watching people sign their name and doing business and announcing at the same time. I had it all going on there once in a while. Holy smoke.
Well, it's a good place because the fans love it too, right? The fans see it and love it, and they see what we give. Our fans that follow us know that if they buy this ticket, we're selling $50,000 worth of tickets that will go to them and $50,000 out to the prizes. And we give $150,000 to the event, to the hospital, so they know what we turn it into,
Yeah.
Yep.
It's awesome, and cool. And I don't know how many tickets I sold either, other than we sold a boatload. And then
You sold a boatload, John. I can tell you.
We cranked the fire up in the wood stove in Monroe too, because Jack says I got 14 books left. And then he come up and said, I only got one book left.
Yeah.
So they were leaving as fast as Jack had them in his hands, I think. So it was a good deal.
Yes.
Yep. It is. I mean, it's fun. And guys don't complain about it all. You know, I stop at the bar and I pass books around the bar to all my buddies that I'm there with a lot, and they all sign and throw their $100 bill on. And, hey, am I going to win this year? Is this a winning ticket? Everybody says that. I tell everybody, yes, that's a winning ticket because you're paying for the Children's Hospital. You are a winner. No matter whether you win the prize or not, you're a winner for helping this out.
Yeah. Poor JJ, he didn't have tickets with him down the Utica bar one night, so I had to sell a ticket down there. And I sold
Mike Walsh is watching. Big Mike is the one that
that barrel's empty.
The barrel was empty. We were teasing him with that.
Yeah.
He bought a book of tickets this year too. I want to thank Mike again. He's a good friend of mine. Yep, he helps out in Hillsborough. He helps out the benefit pool, and he helps out the sock pool. And I know if I asked him to go anywhere to help, he would help.
That's awesome. Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but last year I think it was the second place prize went to Lori Larson there. I think at Utica Bar. So there's a whole bunch of people that wanted to jump on the bandwagon and buy tickets from me this year.
I bet.
We sold a few down there. Yeah.
Yep. We had a local one a few years ago, three or 4 years ago. A local guy in town here won the $25,000. Mike Ballwig when he won it. You know, he buys tickets every year now.
That's good.
Yep. But it's fun. Like I said, it all goes to good causes. A lot of fun. And I'm thanking you, Jack, again for everything you do. I hope we never lose you. When you quit, I'm going to have to quit too. So don't quit.
Well, I hope this is a long time myself. I now that we're in our new home and condo here and stuff, we really enjoy it, and I'll have more time. I don't have to mow the yard, shovel snow, so I got more time now to work on this kind of stuff, and that's the kind of stuff I really want to work on.
Yep, and that's a point in your life that's great, right?
Yes, it is. It's a wonderful point in my life.
Yep, grandkids and all this stuff, right?
Yep. We had 2 granddaughters in volleyball and 2 grandsons in football, and I didn't miss in 2 different school districts, and I didn't miss one game of anybody's the whole season. So I had to run. I had a lot of dual nights. There was a lot of nights I'd watch half a game one place and half a game in another place. But Grandpa was always there in the stadium, so that was the big thing.
And that's important. That
is important.
Stuff is very important.
Yes, I always put that first, but we still get time to do all the rest. So.
Yep.
Like Badger State having 2 polls in the same day.
Yeah, exactly, John. You got it.
Yep.
About the only one that sees both polls is Mark Eastman.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And we want to thank him. Thank Cunis Ford or Cunis Motor Group or whatever for giving us that truck this year, so he could get to the places back and forth more dependable, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Out of Mount Carroll, Illinois. Yeah. Is Tom Gallett eligible to participate in the raffle anymore?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. He's a lucky dog. He won it twice, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And, Tom only buys 1 ticket. I can tell you, I fingerprint every ticket. And honestly, God, Tom only buys 1 ticket. He's just a lucky guy. That's all there is to it. He's just lucky.
Yeah. Lucky.
Better to be lucky than good.
That's right.
Yep.
Living right he is. Yep. That helps fund his farming, like we were talking about last week.
Yep.
Puts diesel fuel in the combine for the season.
Yep. Well, I see we have Roger and Waylon joining us from Mackville here to talk about a little bit of their track. So, we'll stay on your Jack, and we'll see what we got going on in Mackville.
Sounds good. I'm anxious to hear.
I've gotten so many phone calls about Mackville. What's going on there? So I thought, well, let's get these guys on here and let them tell us what's going on.
Alrighty.
How you doing, Roger Whalen?
Hey, good.
Real good.
Good.
John?
I think Ryan was going to look for some pictures that you guys posted on Facebook about what you're doing with the track up there and fixing it up to kind of let everybody know what's going on, right?
Sure. Yeah, we're removing this man.
They're gonna show the video here.
Okay.
You got a video too, Whalen?
He's got the video playing right now, so he's trying to adjust the sound so these guys can talk about it while we're doing it. What are you guys adding a bunch of good ground there now?
Well, actually, we removed all the dirt that was there. Went down about 18 inches, and ran it through a machine that screened all the dirt as much best we can. It's got a 5/8 screen in it, so the stones and some clumps went out into a dump truck, and the good stuff you'll see piled up on the pile there, which has quite a big pile when we're all done. That's not even close. So it worked out pretty well. It's all clean. It's all good stuff. And actually, it's up there tonight. We're getting ready to put it back on tomorrow. We had to regrade the whole track again, so we get a good crown on it to shed the water and stuff, and have it and remove that track over about 25 feet to the infield as well. If you remember, there was that transformer that was right on track side, right by the wall.
Yep.
We finally got the proposal from We Energies to what it's going to cost to move that, have them moved to 90 feet in the infield, and we're going ahead with that. The price is what we could afford. Could afford not to do it, to be honest with you, but at the same time, you didn't know what they were going to come up with, what kind of a proposal, but it's good. And so we're moving forward with not only with the new materials, but as far as moving the track infield, so we got more room to stay out of the corners as much, have a longer track, and it'll work out well. Looking forward to it.
Yep. And you're mixing some organics in with the track when you put it together. You were talking about one time too, or? Yes.
Tomorrow, we'll be adding it's composed leaves that have composed. They ran through grinders. The city of Appleton does it. Greg Eben, he works for the city, so he got us 3 big loads, 3 big semi loads of that. So we're going to be spreading that on with a manure spreader and then working it in as they bring the dirt on tomorrow. And it should go good. We figure it'll be done tomorrow with getting that all back on track there. Should be good.
Yep. Sounds like a good deal.
Yeah. That clay was tough. I mean, there was some pretty tight clay. That would have been, and so that should help. To help break that down. And then the plan is to bring some dirt, soil from Mackville as well. We're going to run that through a screen as well. There was always some stones in there, and we're going to handle that. And a year and a half ago, before we had the last pull, they added a lot of sand and to really make the group of guys really mix it in good. And so that soil should be really good. And we're putting that on top of this soil too. So blend it in. Yep.
Wow. Yep, because I think that's kind of Oshkosh has kind of got the same track you guys do, right? Red clay, and they've been doing the same thing. I think they've been taking the bedding from the barns, afterwards, and then kind of working it in.
Sure.
To their track.
Yeah. We're definitely get away from that whole stone thing that we had last year. I mean, that was a big surprise to everybody. I mean, we had a good pull Thursday night. There were no issues, and then Friday morning we got in deep with the deep till and then they would brought up some stones. Otherwise, we never would have had a pull Thursday night. We just all would have found out before, but they wanted to get the moisture a little deeper, and that's what they ran the deep till a little deeper, and there was stones down below, and that created a huge problem. Fortunately, the racetrack boys, the guys that run the races on the weekends, they allowed us to tear into the main racetrack, in which we've been pretty tough without having that kind of a place to fall back. Have right on right there. We've been pretty tough without having that kind of a cooperation from those guys, and so what happened this year? I put money on that.
Nope.
Be good.
Nope. Well, that was glad. Roger and I talked a little bit ago. Well, how do you get everybody, from last year, get them over the hump? And I said, well, put it out there, take videos, and make sure everybody knows what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't want to make it bigger out of this, make it bigger than what it is, but it's big. I mean, we know that you can't be pulling on stone. We knew that. I mean, it isn't like, hey, guys, come to this new track where it's whether there's stones on it or not. We've had pulls there the last 4 or 5 years on that track and never had an issue. We have, we had cut tires and everything else, guys. Hot farm tractors running cut tires. I know they're not, but we had like mini rods, the Economods and stuff like that. And but we know we can't have rocks in the track. It just something that came up, and it was a heck of a surprise to me and everybody that morning. And so we make the best of it now. We got to make do with it, or not make do with it, make better and make it right. And we want to continue having that track there for a long time, and it's well worth all the effort we're putting into it to make this right. And so looking forward to it. Looking forward to next spring. Hope we have warm weather.
Even last year, you must have had 40, 50 people out there picking stones all day long for how many hours do you think to make it work on Friday night and Saturday night for sure?
Yeah, that one track we opened back up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yeah.
So, but we pulled on it, and I remember one big stone coming up, and I'm like, and that I couldn't believe that chisel plow went through it all them times and never pulled that stone up.
Right.
It
was huge. Yeah. That
was a big one, but it is what it is, and we made the best of it, and it worked, and
right.
We got through it, and you're making the track better. That's all anybody can ask for.
Yeah. It should be 20 inches, 18 to 20 inches of good clay above, of good pulling track above anything that was still left. I mean, we got it way above from back to when they first brought this dirt in. So it should be an issue. Should be real good.
Awesome.
Yep. Did you make it up there last year, Jack? The light limiteds were there last year.
I did not. I had something going on with the grandchildren. I did not make it.
Okay. Well, it's fun, and the block of rooms you had was at the casino, so we all got to go gamble after that. That was a lot of fun. I lost some money. Reeves was with me sitting at the table. He made money. I think anything I gave there, he made. So actually, he made more than I lost. He did pretty good there. The guy, our hook man.
That's the way it usually works. The Indians got to get some too.
Yeah.
Yep. They got to get their cut, right?
Right.
But it was fun, and I think the facility for the fans is probably better than it was at Mackville, right?
Oh, by far, yeah. You got a grandstands here with a roof over your head, backrests. I mean, it's by far parking and everything else is just so much better. It's, I mean, I hate this, they take anything away from Mackville because that was always being in the church grounds and in our backyard and all that. But it was, parking was getting worse and worse every year, and more people walking distances, and it's going to have to happen sooner or later, and it's too bad. It kind of gave us a little more heads up, not just 3 months, coming away from it, and here we are. You got to move. You're not having it. It's like, fortunately for the fairgrounds, and get good relationship with those guys from before, from the fairs and the tractor pulling that we do up there, and so it's they're very accommodating. It was a phone call, and within an hour they had the okay to say, yep, bring it up, and then it wasn't it's not ran by the county board or anything like that. It's just some private guys that it's a fair association, it's called, and you're working with just regular guys like just us, not a big committee of all kinds of all kinds of stuff you have to check into, and so it worked out really well.
Yep. And that was a good fair board to work with. I mean, when we said, hey, can we move the track up on the racetrack?
Yep.
They really didn't want to do it, but they did it.
Right.
So that was pretty important, I thought.
Yeah, they had sprint cars coming in the following weekend, so they don't want that track. It takes a toll where you start and stop a tractor pull. It ends up being a rut there, and then it's right on the first corner, and it makes it tough for the track. But they understand. The racers understood too. I'm sure there was some bitching, but whatever, they understood. We had an event and had issues, so that happens, and it's not the end of the world. Everybody's on the same track, just like we pull tractors on. Everybody's got the same track, so it's that's the way it goes. But
drive around the hole if you don't like it.
Right.
Yep. And pullers don't like to pull on a racetrack, and racers don't like pullers on their racetrack.
Right.
That's one thing I've learned in the 33 years of doing this. Anytime we're on a racetrack, they just hate it when there's a triple track on it. But everybody works with it and makes it work. Darlington was that way forever. They still race there. Oshkosh was that way for a while. Beaver Dam, the midgets were there like a week after we were at the Dodge County Fair, and they weren't happy about what we were doing either. That's the way it goes, right?
Right.
Yep. So it was all fun.
Yeah.
All fun. So John, you got anything for these guys too, or what do you want? What do you think?
Notoriously, like racetracks get pretty hard, which truck pullers don't like when the track gets super hard. When it's hard on tires. So that's usually clay racetracks in the Midwest turn into, and you see sprint cars and midgets with black marks on their tires, and sprint cars smoking the right rear coming out of turn 4 heading to the start finish line. So they get hard. So it's hard for anybody that has an event on a racetrack to make it pliable and stay that way and consistent for truck and tractor pulling. It's just a difficult deal.
Right.
Yep. I actually had a race track show me the video. The guys that were in charge of the race were mad the next week when they were racing there, and they were showing me how the cars were hitting where the tractor pull track was built. And you can just see them lose a little control right there. And I didn't know what to say, but I said, hey, what do you do? The fair board owns it. They want to do both. We have to work with them, right?
Yeah.
Yep. They make money at both events. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So
this is the 50th year coming up for Mackville Nationals then.
That's correct. Yep. Looking forward to it.
50.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So we're working with a different group this year. Badger State is there, and you want to let everybody know what we're all doing here. Both we're gonna have 2 tracks, one club on one and one on the other. Correct?
If that works with you guys, that works with me. You bet.
It works with us. Yep.
Good. Yeah, with NTPA. Yeah.
We haven't settled on the Badger State classes yet, but do you have the NTPA classes all lined up yet?
Yes. You got go ahead, Waylon. You know them all.
Super stock diesel trucks, the big semis, and then the mini rods, and then one more.
The unlimited.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
the one that we've held that one for the last. The unlimited.
A big one.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's going to be
so you have 4 classes from them, and that'll be pretty cool. Yep.
That'll be a fun event. That'll be awesome. Great show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And Roger and Ned and I were all on the phone together, and no problems. We'll make it work, right?
That's right. That's what we'll do. You betcha.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I hope you get your pro stocks, and we've talked about other classes. We see what you got to offer, and
yep.
Whatever you think will work out best with us, and so yeah,
try and do what we can. That and you are building a limited pro, aren't you, Roger?
Yeah, it's in the works. Got the engine there.
Be ready. Be ready by then or not?
I don't know. I don't want to promise it, but we'll put our best.
What are you doing? Aren't you the head engineer of this?
Slacking, yeah.
Right away, he admits it, slacking. You've been hanging around Greg too long, Waylon.
Maybe someday.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty fun building it. And what sheet metal are you putting on it, Roger?
It's that what?
New Holland T8030. It's a one-piece fiberglass hood, like what you see Blue Blazes has, and it's kind of a generic New Holland hood that lot of other pullers use too. It was the most available to get, and pretty lightweight too. So.
Yep.
Sweet.
Well, that's pretty neat. You got a guy building the block for it? Do you know anybody?
Yeah, that's ready. The block and crank is sitting in my shop, so it's the rest of the parts. The rods are we just got back from hardening, so we're gonna finish them up, and just piece her together then. So
Yep.
we'll see.
Well, it'll be neat to see. I really want to see it when it gets out there. That'll be really neat. So, yep, another color in the hen house, right?
Sure.
Yep. Is it? I don't even know if there's another blue. Well, there's that one in Illinois, that one Louisville actually last year, that blue one limited pro, right?
Yeah, but he's running an 8.3 liter Cummins in it though, so it's not a true blue one, but
Hey,
Hey, blue.
as long as it's got the sheet metal on it.
right.
Not true blue. Hey, are you guys still going to do the dash for cash? I mean, that's like a staple, isn't it?
Oh yeah. We'll be doing dash for cash for sure.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I love getting involved with that. That's just, man, oh man, you throw out a bunch of change and the vultures just dive, and those kids are just wild. I don't know. I think the little kids are wilder than the older ones. I really do. Them little ones, they really get right into the program.
For sure. Yeah, that's good. You keep them coming out there and keep your parents coming out with them, bringing them out. That's good. It's a traditional thing that's went on a long time, and we're so fortunate that the audience that we get, or the spectators that we get, we're really, really lucky to have all family groups, all different ages come out, and we can, drawing from a whole lot nice area up there in Wisconsin here. Really lucky to, and they followed us coming from Mackville. They come to Seymour. It was a little sure about the whole thing, how it was going to work out. As far as the spectators going to come. Is it just because the tradition of going to Mackville every year, or is it you really want to see the tractor pulling, even if it's another 15 miles away, and it proved that they really want to come and watch the pulls and enjoy have the same entertainment and the same, just keep coming back year after year, even on some bad weather. The weather we had last year was not very favorable for sitting in the grandstands, and it's 10 o'clock at night, and it's 45 degrees, and jeepers, it was
cold. I didn't take any pants with me last year. When I left home, it was 80 degrees, and I don't even wear pants in the summer. But I got up there. I had to look for a place to buy a pair of pants. It was cold. 45 degrees. Yep. Yeah. Farm and Fleet. Thank God they were there. Yeah.
Yeah.
New duds.
Well, on Friday night, I didn't get any, but I wore Bruce Dannenberg's track. He had a spare set of flagman pants, the black pants. I had to grab them from him and wear them. I was cold. I had sandals on, and it was bad.
Yeah.
The beer did not get warm.
No, that's for sure. Yeah, our beer sales was down quite a bit last year. That's for sure. But hopefully make up for next year.
Yep. The weather controls everything.
That's right.
It does. Mother Nature wins every time.
Yeah. Just happy to see the crowds. That's all I can ask for. And beer sales, that could go year to year. We'll see what happens there. So.
Yep.
Well, the 50th thought it'd be the good one, and now you got that one under your belt. Now get information like this out and going, and the information come out, and I had a bunch of people ask me, "Oh, you guys aren't in Mackville no more. NTPA is there." I'm like, "Oh, you got to read the fine print on the bottom. It says with Badger State. It still says that on there." Oh,
right.
Really? I'm like, "Oh, you'll find out. It's coming out. It'll be out, yeah."
Oh, you bet. Yeah. We've had a lot of good years with Greg and your whole group there. It's really wanted that. I was hoping you were going to be able to stay with us. I sure didn't want that to make a game changer, but it was really great when you said, "Yeah, we can make this work." I said, "Oh, awesome!" Because you guys been part of this, last 25 years. It's been whatever it's 30.
Yep.
I don't know the last, and been some really good times, and you've always brought a great show, and so I really wanted, before I even said anything, I said, I want you to be there, but before I said who's coming along, and to be coming before, and so I appreciate that, and we really look forward to it, and keep this relationship, and you guys do a great job. You move things along. That's the big thing. You just keep things going, and I like shows like that where you're not sitting around waiting for a grooming tractor going back and forth or a pack or something. There's tractors going down the track. That's what we want to see. That's what I think the spectators want to see, and I look forward to it.
Yep.
Yeah. One other
Keep
thing
up that if you got 2 tracks, something should be going on a track every minute and a half.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to wait
One
too
other
long.
thing too is we always start on time. If it's 7 o'clock, something's pulling. So we make sure that if there's stuff at the beginning of a pull, and every pull's different, Roger, that somebody has opening ceremonies or sponsors they want to talk, or fairs to the fairs, or this going on, so then we, when I get there, I organize that with the, whoever's doing that. Okay, let's do that then, and then national anthem singer, 7 o'clock, pull time, first tractor or trucks going down the track.
Yep. Perfect.
We're right on time.
Yep. Starting on time is very important.
Yeah, other places you go to are some brush pulls, it says it starts at 1, and 1:30, they're gonna, they're still hee-hawing around, and people are like, geez, we're only gonna be here for a few hours, and we want to see what we can see. We got family stuff going on, but so I think that's one good thing too, that Badger State, we're always 7 o'clock is 7 o'clock. We're pulling.
Yep.
Get
there early.
Whatever the time is.
Well, Jack, you've been pulling for a long time with Badger State too. In our early years, we probably didn't get started on time, but we kind of made that an emphasis, didn't we?
We sure have.
For a while.
Yeah. I think that's the one thing Badger does. They're very organized. I look back all the years, we stayed organized. And that's been kind of our whole game, is being very professional, on time, give you a quick show so people get out and they drink, you can entertain, whether it's out at fair, they want to go out and the games and the rides and family time, yet you can still see a good pull. And that's, I think we really need to toot our horn. We always get commended how good a job we do on this. So
right.
I agree with John. We have to start on time.
I have to give a lot of that credit to Stacy Butson, and because he was one of the first announcers we really got going, and he was adamant, man, it's 7 o'clock. We're starting at 7 o'clock. And I said, yeah, you're right. I want to do that too. So let's get it done. And he pushed it hard, and really, nobody wants to be there at midnight especially to start it a half hour late.
Right.
Yeah.
If it rains, that's one thing. You got to fix the track. That's life. Everybody understands that. But there's no reason to get started.
Right.
Yeah. That drove him nuts when he went down south and started pulling, and he'd be pacing back and forth. This is unbelievable. Pull time. What are we doing? He's, come on. Yep, he's ready. I'm ready. Everybody else can be ready. Let's go. Yeah. He's always has been. But
and getting the pullers there on time too, and getting them signed up and getting going. Yeah. Ryan's working on a great app for next year for signing people up and stuff. I don't want to say anything about it yet because I don't know if it's going to get done or whatever. But what do you think, Ryan? You going to get it done for next year? I don't know. Ryan fall asleep?
It's pretty much done. I just have to tweak a few things, and I think it worked pretty well at Monroe.
Yep. So you introduced it. The first time I seen it was at Fall Nationals, and it was great. It's called what was it called? Pull.
It's called Pull Tracker.
Yep, Pull Tracker. Yes, it was great. An app you could see distances, kind of instantly, and points and how guys did as soon as the class was done. It sorted it all out. It was really neat, and I really think it's going to be something great for everybody. So that'll be great.
But I like too, going to announce a tractor pull, and even like Mackville, we're notoriously, we've had 2 tracks side by side, and I've been the only announcer there a couple times side by side. I've announced and pulled at the same time up there too. I don't know if you remember that, Roger.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yep.
You hear me, but he's not up in the crow's nest. Where is he?
In the seat. Yeah.
Yep, sitting in the seat when I had my list and I could see the board. I was good to go. Yep. But
Yep.
how organized, like Jack said, the girls there that run the computers, and there's two people there, one right in the distance and the other one entering it and keeping things going. And all that information is like boom, instant for the announcer. Because people want to hear, I feel that people want to hear, who's sitting, who's in the lead yet? Did Roger go by that guy? Or I mean, he was close, but how close was he? And to keep them up to date on who the top three are as you're going through the class, and keep them up to date with that stuff, so that they know, who's a leader and who won the class, and well, where did Greg end up? He said the top three. Well, where did Greg end up? I change it up. I go from the top to the bottom, or go to the bottom to the top, but make sure that everybody that's sitting there, and the pulling teams and whatever, we got seventh, or shoot, we just missed third by that much, and everybody gets to hear what place in the class, or some places you go to, top three, Roger Baum, Greg Elsing, Jack Spotz, on to the next class. Well, what about the rest of them? I mean, they pull two, so
It's very important to recognize everybody.
Yeah, it's great that the girls, and they sort it right away when the class is done. They sort it, and it's ready to go. And they always turn the computer towards us, and it's just awesome when you go to another event somewhere and announce, and you're out of my element, and it's not as good as what I have there. It makes it hard for the announcer. It's difficult. I'm spoiled. How about that? I'm just
right.
Put it out there. Spoiled.
And it's good to have the same people around you all the time. It does help. It makes continuity and things flow a lot better, right?
Oh yeah, it makes I think when we were down in Monroe a couple of years ago, and Bear was down there, and the girls turned around with the headset on, they don't even say nothing, and they look at me and go like this, and he looked at them, and I announced, "Yep, sled set." He kept the pull. We're underway. Da 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 da. And afterwards, he's like, "What's the two thumbs up mean?" I said, "Well, this one is the sled set. This one he's keeping the hook, or sled set dropping the hook. That's where we're at." Very early is this.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, girls, they don't even have to say anything. They just give me the signs, and away we go.
Well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is good. And it is fun announcing with other organizations too, because you see a different light on things, and going somewhere too, which I don't get to do a lot, but going somewhere and hear somebody else announce a poll and kind of how they do things, and kind of tune in on some of that stuff, and being side by side with NTPA up there is going to be fun, because you're going to have fans from both areas there, and voices from both, and I think it's going to be a great time.
Yep. Talking about announcing, one time we went to a pull in Missouri, and we co-sanctioned a pull. I forget where it was, 20 years ago, and they had their announcer there, and the NASCAR race was on, and they played the NASCAR race. When you pulled, they said, like, Greg Elsing 287, and that was it. That was all there was. And then it went right back to the NASCAR race. The radio was playing. It was different, but it was fun. We weighed ourselves on the scales too. It was all the honor system. You weighed yourself and measured your own drawbar. So I was always questioning some of that, but
yeah,
that's what it was. It was fun. It's different, like you say. It's different to go to other places and see different things, and see how people do it.
Yeah.
They might do it better. They might not, you watch it.
But it's good. I mean, you learn from other organizations too. And, whether you pull anything, garden tractor, a truck, hot farm to a naturally aspirated to farm class, farm stock, whatever, everybody has the same passion for the same sport. And it's the same bat and ball. You just got a different glove, and
Yep.
the rules are a little bit different. But anybody that's pulling and has the passion for truck and tractor pulling, they're all pulling in the same direction. So it's just getting everybody to jump on and keep going in the same direction.
Right. Well, talking about that, I'm going to try and get a friend of mine from Missouri on next week on our show, and they're talking about some different rules out there. So they're talking about going to a box turbo in the limited pro class, and I'm going to try and get him on here and then hear their version of what's going on there. So what do you guys think? That'd be a good, if I can get him on, I think that'd be a good show, right?
Yeah, be good to hear. I mean,
Yep.
you know,
Because the last two guys we have to get on for our points champions both told me they're still picking corn. So they have no time for this, but we'll get them on at some point.
Yeah. The biggest thing is, same thing too, the dollar amount, is it plus or minus, or, the good, the good and the bad of both situations. So, I mean, in the end of it, the pullers are the ones that are footing the bill. When there's a big change in the rules, it costs someone, if not everyone, money.
Yep, it does every time. And then, there's we'll talk about it next week if I can get them on here. I got a bunch of stuff I want to say about it, but we're going to wait. And hopefully everybody tunes in next week.
Awesome.
So
we're at the end of our slotted time here. So thanks, Roger and Waylon, for coming on. And boy, we get closer, we'll get you on again and talk about Mackville. And is it still going to be called Mackville Nationals?
Yeah, so far we've kept it that way. Yeah.
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 I mean, we're all excited. A lot of people excited and glad to have you on tonight. And it's great to chat about this. And now the word will definitely get out that both organizations are there, and we're all ready to pull. We're all ready to have some fun. So
yeah, here we are, November 1st.
We're ready.
Us too. Thank you very much, you guys.
Yep.
Thanks a lot.
Time. Yep.
You guys have a safe holiday season and enjoy with all the families, and we'll talk soon. So,
We'll do
Jack,
it.
Well, I hope we see you guys going to make it to the banquet.
I'm planning on it.
Perfect.
I haven't sent in. I was just looking at the invitation today. So I think it's been a while since I've been down there, and I think
Yep.
check
Bring
it out.
Waylon along. You need somebody to keep you under control, Roger.
direct supervision.
That's a challenge.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, good. I'll
Need a
have a
chaperone.
drink with you when I'm done talking that night.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you, Jack, for all you do for us. Thanks for coming on tonight and being with us here. We're always glad to have you on board. You want to come on anytime, be our guest. We love having you with us. So thanks for all you do.
You guys are welcome, and thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Ryan, you as
Thanks
well.
everybody for watching too.
Yeah, thank everybody for watching. Ryan, we can't thank you enough for all you do for this too. You're a big staple of this, so thank you so much. Thanks to everybody watching. We want to thank Salama Enterprises, Casper Egg, Wet and Camp Transport, Front Street Toys, and Trip Downing for helping us out with Down and Dirty, the Badger State Tractor Pullers. So good night, everybody. See you next Monday.
All right. Yep. Thank you.